Hey guys, how you doing? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report with your college football previews and predictions for week number 5. Hope you're having yourself a good start to your day. As always, don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner or hit the subscribe button below this video if you are using a mobile device. Today's podcast is brought to you by ATSCalculator.com. If you want to give it a test drive and see the demo right here, I'll do one here on the game between Mississippi and Alabama. Now, the Crimson Tide are a 14.5 point favorite. The over-under is set at 80.5. And when I do the create the ATS forecast, it gives me a result of Alabama winning by 4, so it has Mississippi covering, but the total at 70.54, so it does like it to go under total. And you can do NFL, you can do Major League Baseball, all the sports right here. And it's pretty good when you're doing totals, especially on a busy college football Saturday. Also, I'm going to give you guys the records here of all the head coaches, some of the angles you want to look at. And I got a good system for you guys. It's not really a system. It's basically an observation this year, and I'll share it to you right after I do the forecast on every college football. Pick them to -3 or pick them to +3 underdogs, and you're going to be interested to see the results of that search. All right, let's go to the Thursday night game between the Canes and the Cavaliers. Now, Miami coming off a 38-17 win, lost last game against the Spartans, and we do like the Canes on this one. 35-21, the over-under at 56.98, and looking at the Canes, last 2 games, I've gotten under the total. Iowa taking on the Maryland Terrapins. We do like the Hawkeyes winning this one. 29-19, the over-under at 49. We got BYU taking on Utah State. The Aggies, the over-under in this game is at 61.5. The Cougars, a 8.5 point road favorite. They're coming off a 35-27 win in their last game, while the Aggies losing 27-3 to Boise State in their last game. And we do like the Cougars winning this one. 30-24, the over-under at 54.91. We got Houston Cougars taking on the Tulsa Hurricanes, the Golden Hurricane, and the line of that game is 4.5, the over-under at 54.5, and we do like Tulsa. 39, Houston 28, the over-under at 67. We got Northwestern taking on the Cornhuskers. We got Nebraska winning this one, 34-16, the over-under at 51.73. The chance of covering the spread does favor the Wildcats here at 71%. The COC stands for chance of covering in the Raymond Report law of average theory, and we look at everything through the percentage play, right? Michigan taking on the Wisconsin Badgers. Big game this weekend in Wisconsin. Now the Wisconsin Badgers, a 1.5 point favorite. The over-under is set at 43.5. Forecast gonna lean with Wisconsin in this one, 25-9. The over-under landing on 35.01. We'll see if the Badgers can control their turnovers on offense, because that's what's been their big downfall this year against the big games versus the big teams, right? Charlotte taking on the Illini. We got the Fighting Illini winning this one 37-17. The over-under at 55.37. Auburn taking on the Tigers. LSU 29. The Auburn Tigers 20. The over-under at 49.5. And looking at the Tigers' last game, a 28-25 win over Mike Leach and the Mississippi State Bulldogs. We got the Spartans beating the Hilltoppers here. Michigan State, really a surprise team right out of the gate, and on a 4-0 start. Mel Tucker doing a great job there at Michigan State. We got the Spartans winning this one, 36-20, the over-under at 56.99. A little bit of a shocker last week as the Golden Gophers lost to Bowling Green 14-10. Not much offense in that one, but we got Purdue winning this one against the Golden Gophers this weekend, 34-27. The over-under at 61.5. The Longhorns, we'll see if they got any more scoring left after a 70 spot last week against the Red Raiders. And we got Texas winning this one, 32-26. The over-under at 58.8. And we do the totals right there. We also have them covering the spread. The spread is 4.5. Ole Miss taking on Alabama. We showed you the ATS calculator liking Alabama to win but not to cover. And we do like the Crimson side here. 36-14, the over-under at 51.5. Pitt taking on the Yellow Jackets. We got Georgia Tech losing as a 3-point home underdog. 26-23 favoring Pitt. The over-under at 49.9. We got Boston College against Clemson. Clemson's got to find a way to get some offense going here. 31-12, the over-under at 44.39. The Tulane Green Wave going up against East Carolina. We like the Green Waves over the Pirates. 30-29, the over-under at 59.73. Syracuse taking on the Seminoles. We got Florida State winning this one, 27-19, the over-under at 47. Louisiana Tech taking on the NC State Wolfpack. The Wolfpack coming off a big upset win last week against the Tigers, so could be a little bit of a letdown spot here for the NC State Wolfpack. 38-20, The over-under at 58.7. The game of the week will be in Notre Dame in South Bend between the Fighting Irish against Cincinnati. And we do like the Bearcats to win this one, 28-17. The over-under at 45.7. Appalachian State taking on Georgia State. We do like the Mountaineers winning this one, 43-20. The over-under at 63.74. We got the Bruins taking on the Arizona State Sun Devils. We have UCLA winning this one with Chip Kelly taking the reign here as a 3-point favorite, 36-29. The over-under at 65.7. Army taking on the Ball State Cardinals. We got the Black Knights winning this one, 50-18. The over-under at 68.17. So it does like it to fly over the total at 47. Toledo taking on UMass. We got the Rockets winning this one, 45-24. The over-under at 69. We got the Tar Heels taking on the Duke Blue Devils. Blue Devils coming off a 52-33 win in their last game against the Kansas Jayhawks. And North Carolina, 19.5-point favorite in this one. We got them winning 40-21, the over-under at 62.2. And Memphis taking on the Temple Owls. We got the Tigers winning this one, 42-20, the over-under at 62.65. And big win last week for University of Texas San Antonio. Memphis jumped out to a big lead, but San Antonio is showing the pollsters this year that they're ready for some ranking, and they're doing really well right now. But I don't think they'll get ranked. But they're, if you're betting the Roadrunners, you're making some money, and that's where I've been. They were my underdog play of the week last week. But this week we got Memphis beating the Owls 42-20. The over/under at 62.6. Ohio State taking on the Rutgers Scarlet Knight. Now Rutgers went into Ann Arbor last week, lost a close one, 2013 to the Wolverines, where Ohio State's still trying to figure it out on defense. 59-7 win last week against Akron. That was a bit of a tune-up game for this one, and this one should be an interesting game. We get the Buckeyes, a 15-point road favorite, the over-under at 58.5, and we do like Ohio State to win this one, 42-17, the over-under at 59.95. But I'll show you just in a few minutes Seattle's record as a coach. It's pretty impressive. Louisville taking on the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. We have Wake Forest winning this one, 40-25, the over-under at 66.21. Wake Forest coming off a 37-17 win over Virginia last week. You got USC taking on the Buffaloes. We have Colorado winning this one, 42-36 in a high-scoring affair. Total at 78.7. The total in that game is at 50.5. Trojans entering this one as a 7.5-point road favorite, and they're coming off a 45-27 loss last week to the Beavers. Air Force taking on New Mexico. We got the Falcons winning this one, 29-19, the over-under at 48. We got Eastern Michigan taking on Northern Illinois, and we do have the Eagles winning this one, 36-31, the over-under at 67.4. And looking at Eastern Michigan coming off a 59-21 win last weekend over the Texas State Bobcats. Boise State taking on the Nevada Wolfpack. We got the Broncos winning this one, 41-30, the over-under at 71.9. Looking at Boise last weekend, winning 27-3 against the Aggies, Utah State Aggies, where the Wolfpack lost to Kansas State, 38-17. Western Michigan taking on the Buffaloes. We got the Michigan Broncos winning this one in a low-scoring affair, 19-17. The over-under at 36.7. The total in that one's at 59.5. UCF without Dylan Gabriel at quarterback, broke his collarbone last week, playing Navy. Navy finally put some boards. No, they didn't. I was going to say they put some points on the board, but they didn't. It was a 23-3 loss last week to Air Force, and 37-22 is our ATS computer pick, favoring the Golden Knights. Oregon taking on Stanford. Stanford losing 35-24 last week to Chip Kelly and the Bruins. We got the Ducks winning this one, 32-30. The over-under at 62. Central Michigan taking on Miami. We got the Red Hawks winning this one, 35-27. The over-under set here at 62.97. Bowling Green, big upset last week to the Golden Gophers, even though it was a low-scoring affair, 14-10. We do have Bowling Green losing to Kent State this weekend, 48-19. The over-under at 67. New Mexico State taking on the Spartans. We got San Jose winning this one, 34-21. The over-under at 55.8. We got SMU, who are pretty hot out of the gate. Sonny Dice doing a good job there with the Mustangs. 41-24. The over-under set at 66.14. So it does like it to go a tad under the total of 68.5. Fresno State taking on the Warriors. We got Hawaii losing this one as a 11.5-point home underdog. 39-23. The over-under set at 62, favoring Fresno State. UL Lafayette, the Raging Cajuns taking on the Jaguars. And we have the Raging Cajuns winning this one 33-22 against South Alabama, and the over-under landing on 55.7. Marshall, Middle Tennessee State, we got the Thundering Herd winning this one 43-21. The over-under at 64.4. Another good game here in the SEC. You got the Bulldogs taking on the Razorbacks. We have Georgia winning this one 30-14. The over-under at 44.8. And looking at the total in this game is at 47.5. And Sam Pittman's got a great record against the point spread, and I'll show you that in just a minute. Good matchup here between Hugh Freeze and Bill Clark of UAB. UAB going to this one as a 1.5 point favorite. The over-under set at 49.5. We do like Liberty on the computer pick here. 24-23. The over-under at 47.75. UAB winning last week in 28-21 against Tulane, while Liberty lost to Syracuse 24-21. I believe that was a Friday night game. And actually, let me see, days rest. Yeah, it was on a Friday night because they're on 7 days rest. Southern Miss taking on Rice. We got the Owls winning this one 23-18. The over-under at 41.5. Old Dominion taking on UTEP. We got the Miners winning this one 29-19. The over-under at 49.05. We have Florida taking on the Wildcats. We do have Florida winning this one 39-23. The over-under at 63.6. Ohio taking on the Akron Zip. We got the Bobcats winning this one 39-31. Your over-under is set at 70. Total in that game is 55.5, so it does like it to fly over the total. UNLV taking on those Roadrunners who are pretty hot out of the gate, 4-0. 33-14, the over-under at 48.5, so it does like it to go under the total. And it has the Roadrunners winning by 19, so it doesn't have them covering the spread. Very tight. West Virginia, big win last week, or lost last week to Oklahoma. Good outing, though, in Norman, but they came up a bit short. 16-13 was the final. A game they could have won. It could have went either way in that game, but we got them beating the Red Raiders, who got smoked last week to Texas, the Longhorns. Final of that game was 70-35, and we got the Mountaineers beating the Red Raiders 34-24. The over-under at 59.38. FIU taking on the Owls. We have Florida Atlantic winning this one 33-19, the over-under at 52. Connecticut taking on the Commodores. We got Vanderbilt winning this one 37-14, the over-under at 51.1. Mississippi State taking on Texas A&M. Now, A&M's got a big look ahead here on deck. They got Alabama next week, but we got them winning this one 32-20, the over-under at 52.5. Tennessee taking on Missouri. We got the Tigers winning this one 33-23, the over-under at 56.6. Baylor taking on the Oklahoma State Cowboys. We got Mike Gundy and company winning this one 37-20, the over-under at 58.09, so it does like it to go over the total. Arkansas State taking on Georgia Southern. We got Georgia Southern winning this one 31-17, the over-under at 49.1. Sooners taking on the Wildcats. We got in Manhattan. We have Oklahoma winning this one 30-15, the over-under at 45.5. And keep an eye on the Big Boomer, as you see on the front page. You got Lincoln Riley taking a 16-2 road record to Manhattan this weekend. Troy taking on the South Carolina Gamecocks. We got the Trojans losing as a 7-point road underdog, 29-19 favoring South Carolina. The over/under at 48. Washington taking on Oregon State. We got the Beavers losing this one as a 2-point favorite, 39.9 to 31.2 favoring Washington, and the over/under landing on 71.1. We got the Cougars taking on the Golden Bears. We got California winning this one 29-9, the over/under at 38. Indiana taking on Penn State, that very gritty defense of the Nittany Lions, and we do have Penn State winning this one 38-16, the over/under at 54.4. Big revenge spot here for the Nittany Lions. Coastal Carolina taking on UL Monroe. We got the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers winning this one 42-12, the over/under at 55.39. And finally, the last game on the board, Iowa State Cyclones taking on the Kansas Jayhawks. We do have Iowa State winning this one 37-17, the over/under at 55.73. Wow, that was a lot of games to go through, but we got through it. And here's now what I promised you guys. I'm going to show you the database. Now, if you're playing favorites this weekend of Pick'em to -3, look at the results so far in the 2021 season, and you're going to see that not a lot of occurrences, but I think it's the under where you might want to consider this weekend, as any college football team that's at Pick'em to -3. Look at that. 5-13-2 against the point spread, so not very good against the point spread. 7-13 straight up, but 5-15 to the under. So against the point spread and the under, not a good record if you're looking at any college football teams. That's a pick 'em to -3. Now let's go on the other side of the coin and let's take a look at underdogs in that same role. So we're going to go right here, pick 'em to +3 underdogs this season in college football. And there's a little bit more occurrences, and we'll see how the record here goes for those teams. Also, 21-10-3 against the point spread, 21-13 straight up, and 10-24 to the under. So again, any spread of pick 'em to -3, you can see the under is where you want to lean. Now, if you're looking at, one thing I do when I handicap, I look at coaches. I look at who's coaching which team, because in college football, it's about the programs, it's about the head coaches, and coaches get these game plans ready for the players to execute on game day. But it's the field generals that lead them to the battle, on the not the real battlefield, but the football field. But you need a good execution plan. And one thing I like to do, and when I'm looking at football coaches, I like to see their records. You'll see notice a big difference in coaches' home records and road records. Some of them are Jekyll and Hyde, and I'll show you some of these records. Now, everything in green that you see is positive records of normally 56% or higher, and everything in red is losing records, right? So if we look at that Thursday night game between Virginia and Miami, you can see Bronco Mendenhall going up against Manny Diaz. Now, Manny Diaz, pretty good record overall, 16-12 for the Hurricanes, 57%, but he's 10-5 at home this season. And Bronco Mendenhall, he's really good at home, 23-11, but 6-21 on the road. So not a great road record. And when I look at some of these other teams, so Maryland here, I know you might like Maryland this week against Iowa, but keep in mind the head coach for Maryland, Mike Locksley, doesn't do well against ranked teams. He's only 1-8 straight up against those teams. And on the point spread record, he's 13-13, where Kirk Ferentz, overall home or away, is hitting 56% of his games. BYU taking on Utah State. You got Kalani Sitake here, winning 62% of his games, going up against Blake Anderson. And you can see Anderson, 58% as a head coach lifetime, and 30-11 when he's at home. And when he's playing ranked teams, he's only 1-4 straight up. So you got to keep an eye on these top 25 teams. And I'll take a look at some of these the big games this weekend, right? So let's go to Cincinnati against Notre Dame, and I'm going to show you the records for Brian Kelly and Luke Fickell. Where's that game? Here it is, Cincinnati. So Luke Fickell, 37-14 at Cincinnati. He's got a winning percentage of 73%. He's 22-4 at home, but only 13-9 on the road, and 4-8 against ranked opponents. So be careful this weekend if you're betting Cincinnati in the Notre Dame game. Brian Kelly, a little bit, 23-22, still a winning record, and at home he's 58-13. So the one thing with in Notre Dame, I know you look at this team this year, they're in a lot of close games, not like last year's team, but they get the job done. For some reason, this team is getting the job done. But that's an interesting game. I won't be touching that game. I think that's a game where it can go either way, right? And I think there's better value on the board. Now, again, you can get all this here at ATSStats.com. It's on our front page. Just look for Lincoln Riley's picture, and you can see all the matchups. And I'll just go through a couple of them real quickly with you guys that I'm looking at. In fact, I'm looking at UAB this week. And when I look at the record of Bill Clark, now, Bill Clark's done an amazing job with the Blazers. And where's UAB? Let me see here. Liberty and okay, here we go. Hugh Freeze done a remarkable job here at Liberty. 20-7 straight up. He's 12-1 at home, but 6-6 on the road. It's tough to win on the road, right? Covered 67% of his games. And for Bill Clark at home, look at his home record. 24-4. He's won 65% of his games. It's in his sixth season here at UAB. He's 43-23, and he covers 61% of his games. The only thing that a little scares me about this is that Hugh Freeze does cover his games as well, 67%. But I like UB a lot this weekend. It's going to be one of my top members play. And again, folks, you can get this chart just by going to our website right here at ATSStats.com. It's a great chart to find indicators. And again, look for coaches with winning percentages of 56% or higher. Follow winners, right? That's one thing. If I can give you some advice, winners win. And when you follow winners, you have a better chance to get into the winner's circle. Also, don't forget, check out atscalculator.com. You can use the calculator to do some of your research. And let me do one here. Let's do Kentucky against Florida. I think that's going to be a good matchup this week. So let's go Kentucky against Florida. Where's Florida right here? And let's see what the old survey says right here. And Kentucky against Florida. And we have the away team winning 0.49 and 40.17. So it does like a low-scoring game. In fact, let me take a look at the record here for Kentucky and Florida. I believe this game, let me go down here. There it is right there. All right, so it's at Kentucky. All right, so it's at Kentucky. Dan Mullen taking on Mark Stoops. Florida, Mullen is 30-10 with a 76% win percentage, fourth year at Florida. 17-4 at home, 11-2 on the road, and he's covered 59% of his games. Where Mark Stoops, 50-50, but look at this, 37-21 at home. And this is what I mean by Jekyll and Hyde records, but 12-26 and only covers 46% of his games. So that's a game I'm not going to touch as well. And again, follow winners, and it should lead you to the winner's circle. All right, folks, and if you're interested in my picks this weekend, I'm hitting 57% of my college football selections, my premium picks this year, and I'm hitting 71.4% in the NFL. And you can get my premium picks by going to atsstats.com, go to picks, go to premium picks, or if you want my my regular selections, it comes with your membership. And if you use promo code FB21, you get 20% off your next membership right here at atsstats.com. In the meantime, shop for value, play those percentages. I'll see you back shortly with another Raymond Report.